Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Jess, and in spirit of Halloween, I made a DIY Ash and Pikachu costume. If you want to see how I made these items, then please keep watching. So I'm going to start with Ash's costume first. So what we're going to need is a white and a blue shirt. I had an old collared shirt that I'm going to use, and then I bought a blue t-shirt at Michael's, some green and white felt, a foam ball, some paint, that's going to be for the Poké Ball we'll get into later, and some yellow fabric. I'm going to start by taking the blue t-shirt and cutting it down the middle. I'm also going to remove the sleeves from the shirt. Here's what it looks like after I've removed the sleeves and cut it down the middle. I'm going to remove the sleeves from the white shirt and also remove the collar. So I'm just going to start by sewing the sleeves on. So we're basically putting white sleeves on a blue shirt. So I've already sewed this one on here, so this is completely inside out right now. But I just want to show you how I pinned it. So I pinned it right sides together. I flip it around. You know, the right sides will be showing on the outside, and then the seam will be on the inside of the shirt. I'm just going to sew that together to attach it, and it's just a really simple straight stitch. So here's what it looks like when both of the sleeves have been sewed on. I have it right side up here so you guys can see the full picture. So I have the shirt inside out right now. I'm going to do the collar. So again, I'm just pinning right side up. So I have it inside out right now, but this is the right side, front side. And I'm just going to be sewing that on and attaching it. Here's what that looks like all sewed up. Here's it from the inside of the shirt. And here's it from the outside. It's just what it looks like with the collar and the sleeves, and then we're going to add the yellow trim. And this is big because it's going to be going on my boyfriend, not me. So now I'm just going to be hemming the middle of the shirt. So I'm just ironing and folding over the middle seams here, and I'm just going to do a really simple hem. So here's what the shirt's looking like so far. I've attached the sleeves, the collar, and I hemmed all down the center that we cut here. It's really basic. So I'm going to be doing the yellow trim. Got this yellow fabric here on the bottom. And we're also going to do a small little pocket accent. Measuring the bottom to see how much of the yellow fabric I need. So it looks like I need about 44 inches of fabric to line this entire rim of the bottom. So I'm going to cut a few strips that are 2 inches wide, and it's going to be the full length of this, which is almost 22 inches, which is basically just what I need. I'm going to iron the strips here just like this so that there's no raw edges. For the yellow strips we're using as pockets, I'm sewing all around the edges here just to lock it all in. Now that I have my two pieces, I'm just going to sew them together just to make it one long piece. So this is how the yellow trim is going to go on the bottom, but I do actually need to add like another inch, so I'm just going to do that real quick to make this strip the full length of the bottom of my shirt. So So now I have my full yellow strip that's gonna go right onto the bottom. I'm just gonna sew it right on top. And I have a little bit extra on the end so that I can curl it under. Now I'm just pinning it to the shirt and I'm just attaching it on with a straight stitch. Here's how the shirt's looking so far. We have the finished seam down the middle and the trim all along the bottom. And if you didn't want to sew the bottom like the way I did here, you could just fabric glue it, or fabric glue even a piece of felt, a ribbon. So I'm going to use the same yellow fabric and just do 2 fake pockets. I'm gonna make the pockets 5 inches long. I'm gonna do the same 2-inch width. Just gonna cut 2 of these. I'm gonna iron these rectangles the same way I ironed the yellow trim from before. So I'm just gonna fold it up like this and just fold it right over it. Now that I have them ironed, I'm just going to sew along each of the edges here, and then I'm going to attach them to the shirt. Just put on the 2 little fake pockets. And yeah, definitely want to measure those so that it looks symmetrical. But this is almost done. Just have to add that little blue tab at the top. I'm taking the extra fabric that I had from cutting the sleeves off the blue shirt, and that's what I'm going to use to make the little tabs on the top of the shirt. I've cut out 2 small shapes, kind of like a circular long shape, and I'm sewing them together. And I'm just gluing on a little yellow circle that I cut from the yellow fabric we already had, and just attaching that right on to the shirt. And that is for the tab. Really simple. And then for the other side, it's just a yellow dot. So I just made another yellow circle and glued it on. And here is the finished Ash shirt. I think it came out really nice. For Ash's costume, you're going to want something similar to like a red trucker hat. So it's actually supposed to be like red with a white front panel, and then this is supposed to be red. I'm going to cover this logo here with some white felt. I'm just going to glue these together because I want it to not be see-through. So to make it more opaque, I'm just going to double-side it. I'm gonna make the Poké Ball now. I just have this foam ball. I got this at Michael's. I got all this stuff at Michael's for this costume. I have some red paint here, a little paintbrush, and some black electrical tape. I'm just gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna do a second coat. After I've painted my 2 coats of red paint and it dried, I'm just using black electrical tape, going around the middle diameter of the foam ball and adding a little circle of black tape in the middle, and then I put a little white felt on the center. For the gloves, I couldn't find green gloves at a store, so we're just being crafty and making our own here. I just have some dark green felt. I traced his hand and I'm just sewing along the outside. So here's what I have right now with the gloves. I am going to flip them out. I had to keep the thumb slit open because they were just too small and Amy has pretty big hands. I decided to take some of the light green felt and just add that touch to it because that's what he has in the costume. If you have a green sweatband or anything like that, you can just wear that on your wrist. But I just had to use felt because I just couldn't find anything last minute in the stores. And that is the DIY Ash costume. We have the Poké Ball, the gloves, the shirt, and the hat. And now I'm just going to get into the DIY Pikachu ears and tail. I have some sheets of yellow felt, a sheet of brown felt, and black felt. I have some wire and clips. I am also going to show it with a headband, but I'm going to start with showing you guys how to make the ears as hair clips, and then at the end I will show you how to make the ears as a headband. I also have some fiber fill. I'm going to be stuffing my ears and tail to give them more body. I'm just sketching out a simple little ear design based off of the pictures I saw. Folding in half is going to give you a more symmetrical ear. And I'm just going to trace that again because I do need a separate piece for the top of the ear, which is a little black accent. I'm also sketching out the tail. I had to tape 2 pieces together for this because I did make it pretty long. So here's all the pieces I cut out. I am going to cut the yellow earpiece a little shorter, remove what's going to be the black area because the black will be sewed onto the yellow to make it one complete ear. I'm tracing onto my yellow felt the yellow parts of the ears. Tracing the black parts of the ear onto my black felt. And I'm just going to cut those out as well, and these are going to be attached to the yellow part of the ear. Do it again for the other ear. So here's all my pieces with the black attached. Now I'm going to be putting them right sides together and just sewing along the edges. I'm leaving a good amount of space on the bottom so that I am easily able to turn them right side out. I used the back of a pencil to help me get the ears right side out since it is a really small piece. Cutting the wire now. I measured it to be the length of the ear. I'm cutting 1 piece of wire for each ear. Wrapping the wire around the clip. Hot glue gunning it in place so it doesn't move. I'm going to stuff my ears now with the polyfill. And once my ears are all filled, I'm going to just hand stitch it closed. I'm going to place the wire into the ear now, and you might have to wiggle it in. It could be a little hard at first. And once the ear is on, I'm just going to hot glue gun the bottom of the ear to the clip. You have to hold it for a few seconds just to make sure it really dries well. You might have to add a little bit of extra glue just to make sure it's really sturdy. And that is it for the DIY Pikachu ear hair clips. Now I'm just going to work on the tail. And here are the hair clips in. I think it came out really cute, but for my hair, I actually decided I wanted to do a headband. So here's how I'm making the Pikachu headband. I'm just cutting some strips of fabric from a yellow piece of felt, glue, and wrap this all around my headband. I detached the ears from the hair clips I had, so the wire is still in them to give it that stability and that sturdiness. Glue the ears onto the headband, make sure it lines up so that they're symmetrical. Here's the finished Pikachu Ears headband. Tracing out the yellow part of the tail I had sketched before on the yellow felt. And I just cut out 2 of those pieces because I am going to be sewing them together and stuffing it. I sketched out the brown part as well, cut it out, and I'm just going to be stitching those together. I have the brown and the yellow pieces attached. I'm going to place them right sides together and just pin that up, and then I'm going to sew along the edges. I'm going to leave an opening at the top, something big enough that I could fit my hand in so that it's easier for me to turn it right side out. After I've sewn it, I'm just trimming the excess fabric, and I'm going to turn it right side out. Stuffing it with the polyfill, I had to use a pencil to really get in there to get the stuffing all the way to the brown part. Might take a little time, but keep working at it. Use a pencil. I'm going to hand stitch it closed. And here is the finished tail. It looks so cute. It looks like a little Pikachu pillow. Here's the final look for the Pikachu costume. I just put on a yellow outfit, little red cheeks, and yeah, I really like how the DIY tail and headband came out. Great DIY costume on a budget. And again, here's the Ash costume. He really liked it. We're excited to wear this for Halloween. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe, and I hope to see you all in my next video.